That's fucking delightful. Fucking delightful. Fucking good combination playing. Sliding balls into space. Good. Excellent. Get them on the fucking roll.
Hello and welcome to the ROKER RAPPORT Player Ratings podcast in association with Sunderland Community Soup Kitchen. My name is Richard Spate and I'm joined today down the line from Ireland once again. We've got Michael Dunn. How are you, Mike?
Rich, I am doing fantastic after that.
Oh,
Great afternoons watching football. Probably one of the most comfortable matches I've watched all season now, in fairness, so it was really enjoyable.
That was excellent, wasn't it? It was brilliant. And how did you find it? And you were doing a watch along, weren't you?
Yeah, I really enjoyed myself. It was a really good game to watch. You know, we were so good, you know, so professional. And it's just so nice at the end of a week where, you know, we've had high after high after high that we haven't lost to Burton. You know, it was just a Sunderland thing, wasn't it? I was really nervous today. And for one of the first times this season, I was just really, really nervous about today's game. But, you know, fair credit to the lads, fair credit to Lee Johnson. Fantastic performance all around.
It was a great performance. And let's quickly go over some of the main talking points from the first half. As seems to be the way now. We got off to a great start, scoring on 6 minutes. It was a free kick, one down on the right-hand side by Aidan O'Brien. It was taken by Aidan McGeady, who squared it nonchalantly to Leadbitter, who piled it into the corner of their goal from just outside the box. And that was a result of our really early dominance, I think. There was a few other shots, opportunities that we had through the first half. In the end, on 31 minutes, after a good bit of pressure leading up to it, a goal from Lyndon Gooch from just outside the box following a corner. So that, again, two goals that had come from corners there. And it was a really dominant first half, wasn't it, Mike?
Yeah, and we set up well. I mean, obviously we saw more of the high press that Lee Johnson wants from the team. It was kind of leading to a lot of mistakes from the Burton defence. We really got in the front foot early on. I think Leadbitter's goal kind of settled the nerves. As Lance said, I was a little bit nervous coming in today because our record against Burton in general isn't very strong. So, you know, typical Sunderland would be after a good week to end it on a low point. So it was good, as I said last week, to get to consistency. I thought Lyndon Gooch was really good down the wing. He really put their left back, it was Earl who got sent off under serious pressure. And it was a really good attacking performance from the front three in general. There was good movement between O'Brien and Wyke and McGeady. So, I mean, it was fantastic, really. It was really, really good. Yeah,
it was impressive, that press, wasn't it? And what did you think of the shape? He obviously tweaked it a bit, given the injuries that we've had, given the fact that Bailey Wright wasn't available today. Cal McFadzean, I think, was still recovering from maybe a little bit of concussion from the other night as well. So, and what did you think of the formation and the lineup?
You know what? When I saw the team, I was slightly worried. I was a little bit disappointed, to be honest. So I just wanted it to be, you know, just to attack and go for them. But, you know, listen, look, we've had 3 games in a week where, you know, we've had to, you know, press really, really high. You know, we've had to put a lot of energy in, and maybe it was just Lee Johnson want to kind of keep it a little bit more tight. I think that was certainly with Leadbitter coming in, maybe to protect Vogins by playing. Well, I thought originally it was going to be a back 3, but it changed. It was a 4, wasn't it? But maybe to protect, you know, the likes of Vogins, the likes of, you know, Gooch, maybe. Now the shape, as soon as it started, I thought it was fantastic. You know, I mean, our 2 midfielders quickly won the midfield battle, which was great to see. You know, Gooch and McGeady out wide were causing all sorts of trouble. O'Brien's movement today, especially in the first half, was what we want to see from him. You know, he drew the free kick for the goal. It was very, very good. And I thought the back line, led by Dion Sanderson, were fantastic. You know, all 4 of them at the back were brilliant today.
Yeah, I thought it was a great performance by Power and Leadbitter. But Power in particular, I thought, had a fantastic game. And I'm glad you mentioned Aidan O'Brien as well, because I think all across the pitch, he worked really hard and he was neat.
He did.
And he did what he needed to. And I think was one of the standout performers today. I know we'll go into player ratings later, but we went in 2-0 up at half time. I think everyone was very pleased with that. It was exactly the kind of first half we wanted to see. Second half, I thought they came out all guns blazing, really. Burton, they seemed to come back into it quite quickly, didn't they, Mike?
Yeah, they started really well, and I think Lee Burge made a really good save. Johnny Smith took the shot, came down Voken's wing. And I think actually after the red card that Burton got, they actually improved after that as well.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe it's hard to keep up that intensity for the whole game, the way we're playing first half. But then we made a couple of changes, things get a little bit more scrappy. But Burton certainly came back into it, they had a few chances. They put us under more pressure. But to be fair, they probably couldn't get any worse as they were in the first half. So they probably got a rollick and a half time from Hasselbank.
Yeah, it was a marked improvement in their performance, definitely. And like Mike said there, Ant, there was quite a lot of changes throughout the game in terms of substitutions. They made 3 on 61, then we made 3 on 65. Obviously, that was adjusting to the fact that they had gone down to 10 men. Let's take that incident, actually, the fight. Let's go into that, actually.
Was it a fight?
Let's not skip over. Well, it was kind of half a fight, wasn't it? So we had, on 54 minutes, Aidan O'Brien getting in a little bit of handbags with, was it Cooper, their centre-back?
Yeah, it was Cooper to begin with, yeah.
And then, for some reason, the lad who brought down O'Brien in the first half to give away the free kick that led to the first goal comes running over and shoves Aidan O'Brien over the advertising holdings. I'm sure O'Brien went over the advertising holdings because he'd probably worked out that he'd got this lad sent off. But what an idiot to get involved, wasn't he?
It was absolutely stupid. I mean, to be honest, it's a straight red. If you look at it back, he grabs a hold of O'Brien by the neck, literally tries to do. I mean, I think O'Brien does kind of, like a really tired horse at the end of the Grand National, tries to get over the fence and just falls. It wasn't the greatest of, he kind of stumbled backwards over it, but it was just meaningless. I mean, I can understand why O'Brien was upset because Cooper had barged him down when the ball had gone out, and they were doing that. They did it to Sanderson in the first half as well, and Sanderson got involved in a little bit of argy-bargy with one of their strikers. But yeah, it was just completely meaningless. I don't understand what Earl was doing. I think Earl just fancied himself an early bath because Gooch had tore him a new one for 60 odd minutes and then thought, oh, so I'm going to get sent off. It was just stupid. But as Mike said, though, Burton were a lot better once he had actually left the pitch.
Yeah, I mean,
so it was strange.
It wasn't long after. It was only 5 minutes after that they managed to hit both posts.
Yeah, and that was a terrible miss, though, that second one, Rich, wasn't it?
Yeah, from Broom, it was awful. But the first one from Smith, now, I didn't quite catch it on the replay. I think, though, that Lee Burge got a hand to that and tipped it onto the post. The shot that came across from Smith. I don't know if anyone else noticed that.
I haven't. I'll have to see it again, to be totally honest. I was more focused on the second one when he'd literally come out and he'd hit the post from that. I mean, I thought that was the worst miss I've ever seen today, but then Lyle Taylor for Forest has just missed an absolute sitter as well. So it was a very, very good chance. But if Burge has got his hand to it, then that's his second big save of the game, because his first one, as Mike's just touched upon, that was an outstanding save because that stuck a deflection as well. And for it to get, we always go on about Burge that sometimes he doesn't get enough onto his palms and he palms them out. But that one palmed onto the top of the bar, a tremendous save, and that really could have turned the tide for Burton because it was just after the first half, and that could have been a little bit nervy for us where it really shouldn't have been.
It was a bit nervy, a bit shaky start to the second half overall, I think, by the defence, but we've got to keep in mind that they were a makeshift defence, and actually I thought they grew in stature as the half went on. And then it comes to 75 minutes. We were coming back into it, or getting ourselves, I think, on top. Charlie White hit the post on 72 after a nice run from Jordan Jones. And again, it was Jones who set up White on 75 for another goal for Charlie White. Mike, we just can't stop scoring at the minute. That's 18 in the league.
I can't believe that. Like, still can't. Every week he scores. I'm still like, is he on that many goals? But it was actually really good play from Jordan Jones in the build-up. I thought he was quite impressive when he came on. He showed what he showed the last couple of weeks, being very direct. Great pass for Wyke, and he just slots it in as he is doing every week now. It's just unbelievable. And the more he does it, the better for us, obviously. But I think his overall game was quite impressive. We'll probably get into it in the ratings, but I think as a target man, he did a really good job. He held up the ball well, kind of knock-on headers for the wingers coming in. So I think, we were saying the last couple of weeks, White's getting the goals, but maybe his performances aren't as good. But I think his performances are really good as well as the goals he's getting. So it was a good afternoon for Charlie White again.
It really was. I'm going to round off this with some 3-word reviews, looking at the ones that we've had come in on Twitter since the final whistle. Once again, I'm not going to read Gav's because it's the same as it was last week. And if anyone wants to read it, it's the first one underneath our regular tweet. Ross Hall says, feed the goat. 1973 Mackham says, nice one, Kirill. And Neil Macbeth replies to that with nice one, son. Sanderson is class, says Kyle L. Mark Triggs calls it a perfect away performance. Got even Lloyd saying championship football pending. Is that, let's run on that one, shall we? Is that where you see us heading, Ant, now? Are we really building up that head of steam that's going to get us there?
You know what? I don't want to get too carried away because obviously it's Sunderland at the minute, and we've got such a tough, we've got a tough run of fixtures coming up. We've got Fleetwood on Tuesday, which it's another bogey side. We need to be putting them away. But listen, we're in form. We're in the playoffs now. Let's just stick to where we are with the playoffs. We're 8 points behind Peterborough and Lincoln. That's going to be hard to overall. I'm not. I don't want to really put a downer on everyone's what's happened this week. I really don't want to put a downer on, but it would take a big effort. Listen, we've got the squad to do it. It's got shown today. Jordan Jones coming off the bench to being one of our better players, and we've got the squad to do that, and there's players to come in who would fit right in. So you know what, we need to keep it up, but it's not out the question. Whereas 3 or 4 weeks ago, look from where we've come from, Shrewsbury away, which was 2 weeks ago, to now talking about possible automatics. We've just got to keep going, keep doing what we're doing, and you never know.
Yeah, Mike, are you similarly kind of cautiously optimistic?
Well, I'm going to continue what I said last week. It's all about consistency. We need to really build again, get these win after win, and obviously the confidence will grow. You can see even from in the last week, the confidence in this squad has grown immensely, like in the last few results. So if we keep this going, as I said, the league is quite weak. If we can get a bit of run, you never know. But yeah, I mean, remains to be seen. But take it game by game. I sound like a professional footballer now saying this, but it's all you can do really. And
that's spot on, that, Mike. Though it is, just take one game at a time.
See what
Let's
happens.
not look too far ahead. Let's just take it one game.
It's certainly there to be done,
It is. I mean, honestly, it's going to be such a scrap. I think the current kind of top 7 are going to be in the mix for the whole time. Might maybe see Accrington drop away. You never know. I mean, they build a new squad every year and they do it really well. So let's move into the player ratings official, shall we? And I'll do the traditional thing of the host taking the goalkeeper, Lee Burge. I mean, I thought didn't have much to do in the first half other than that comfortable save. The great save on 49, I think, was a moment in the match that probably sealed the result. If he did get that touched on the post, I would up my rating from a 7 to an 8. So I'm going to call it a 7.5 because I thought he had a really decent game. I think it was only one bit of poor distribution. Mike, I'm going to come to you. I'm going to give you Conor McLaughlin.
Yeah, I suppose first half, a lot of the ball early on was going the opposite wing to him, down Vokins' side. But I mean, he did nothing wrong. It was a really solid performance. Second half, he put in some really good challenges. He's kind of a player that I suppose goes under the radar a little bit. But I think he's a steady Eddie. He's improving game by game. He didn't put a foot wrong, and I gave him a 7 for today.
Yeah, I gave him absolutely the same rating. Now, Ant, I'm going to allow you to wax lyrical about Dion Sanderson.
Oh, thank you very much. You know what? One of the standout performers for us today. I've got an 8. Could have gone higher though. I thought just for a young lad to marshal a defence that had Luke O'Nien, who's whatever he is, centre midfielder, centre half, right back, left back, whatever. But he kept Luke to his position very well. I thought he helped Vokins out once or twice very well as well. And obviously Vokins would have been coming in a little bit nervous, but you saw his performance was a lot better. Listen, Sanderson's a level above League One.
Yeah.
We're lucky to have him. Why he hasn't played more often this season, I really don't know. Because every time he plays well. And I thought today was probably performance beyond his years. And for now, in the future, it will be who is partnering Dion Sanderson at centre half for me. He was absolutely fantastic. Didn't put a foot wrong. And I give him an 8, but he nearly got a 9. He was very close to getting a 9.
Yeah, he's got 8.5 from me, and you've matched up with Jimmy on the website with an 8 as well. So, Mike, Luke O'Nien.
Yeah, he's becoming Mr. Versatile now, isn't he? He had a really good start today. I thought he was aggressive, very enthusiastic. Maybe a bit too enthusiastic at times. Obviously, he got the yellow card. He tends to jump into challenges, whereas maybe sometimes he could be better just standing off and not. He doesn't have to win every single ball, But really comfortable, grew as the game went on, and you started seeing the second half that he was bringing the ball out of defence well at times and winning headers against strikers bigger than himself. So, I mean, this man can do no wrong for me at the moment, so I have an 8 out of 10 from him.
That's a very fair rating. I think Jimmy's gone for 7 out of 10. I went for 7.5, so that's probably about an average. Yeah, another great, adaptable, versatile performance from Luke O'Nien. I'll come back to myself for on Vokins. I thought it was a strange performance. I think he had one good ball into the box on 48. He did a couple of interesting runs forward, but overall, I think it was right for him to be taken off on 65, and I've given him a 6. Mike, Grant Ledbetter.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, great finish for the goal. I thought he had a really good game. I think that the pace of the game maybe suited him today. You know, the way Burton played, they weren't. I suppose they weren't really a running team in terms of counter press. I thought it suited him. He was more comfortable on the ball, time on the ball to spray the ball around. I thought it was a solid performance, and he should be proud of the week he's had. So a good 7 for him.
Yeah, I think 7 is absolutely the right score. It's what I've given him. We've both gone one higher than Jimmy on that one. I'm going to give you max power. And again, an opportunity to wax lyrical, I would say.
Yeah, it's another 8. Yeah, I thought he was absolutely superb today, Max. You know what? I remember a couple of weeks ago being on this pod with Mike, and I said I prefer him at right back. I've completely changed my mind. You know, he was great. You know, him and Grant, like I said early on, very very quickly won the midfield battle. But I thought he absolutely orchestrated the midfield today. You know, plenty of forward passes, plenty of looking to bring in our wingers all the time, looking to bring White into the play, broke up the play tremendously well, never let their midfield get on top. You know what? This was the max power we thought we were signing. When he first came, he was like this, and I think he's got his mojo back, which can only be good for us. And you know what as well? He is a leader on the pitch. Absolutely fantastic performance again, and I've given him an 8.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone 8.5. I thought he absolutely bossed everything. And like you say, his leadership, I think, give him that extra half mark for me. Jimmy's gone with a 7. We can argue that one on Twitter with him. I'm going to take Lyndon Gooch, who I thought was the standout player of Sunderland's team today. Right from the start, 3 minutes, he was having a shot, doing really well early in the game, getting some good crosses across. He got a great ball into Aidan McGeady, great ball for Aidan O'Brien, scored the goal on 31 with a lovely finish. Managed to pick up a yellow card, but who didn't? And then in the second half, again, just excellent play. Running into the box, tormenting the fullbacks, and yeah, and then just to cap it off, showed great versatility moving back once the substitutions had been made, moved out onto the left wing back position. Thought he was absolutely fantastic, and I've given him a 9. Maybe, I don't know. Do you think that's generous, lads?
No, I have man of the match. Yeah, he was really, really good today.
No, I've got him 9.
Right, whose turn is it? Mike, you're going to take Aidan McGeady here.
McGeady, yeah. Great assist, obviously, early on for the game. I thought he controlled the game really well. He was kind of doing 1-2s. He was roaming around the pitch. He kind of didn't really stay in his position. But, I mean, what an asset he's become this season. Since Lee Johnson's coming in, he's in serious form. And he could be the difference between us staying in League One or getting promoted to the Championship. I thought it was another great performance. Probably not as good as the Doncaster one, obviously, but that'd be hard to beat. A good performance, very creative, and an in-form Aidan McGeady is absolutely vital for us. I gave him a 7 as well today.
Yeah, that's matched up with what I've given him and with what Jimmy's given him on the website. I just thought he faded in the second half because at the half-time I had him as an 8. Charlie Wyke then, Ant.
Oh, well, I can't say anything bad about Charlie at the minute. Mike brought up a great point before. A lot of time this season we've said all Wyke's done is score a goal, but the performance hasn't been there. Whereas today, and I even think this is probably going back to the Ipswich away game, where his performances are matching up to him getting goals because he's causing so much hassle for the centre backs, and the centre halves don't know what to do with him at the minute. He's ball player. I do think a couple of times in the second half where he tries to hit that one touch and he can't do it, can he? And he always has to get it away first time. But he's finished for the goal. I mean, to come across the goalkeeper like that's a hard finish. That, and that's a striker with confidence. That everything he touches at the minute's going in, and it's coming to show that because that was a very very difficult finish, and it was a great finish, great goal. I want to give him an 8, but I'm gonna give him an 8. I'm torn between 7.5 and 8, but being I don't like half marks, I've given him an 8 again.
Well, I think he's well worth it. Yeah, well worth an 8 today. Yeah, I mean, it was between a 7 and an 8, wasn't it? I think Jimmy's given him a 7. I'm going to take Aidan O'Brien. I think his best performance in the Sunderland shirt so far. I thought his all-round play, both, he cleared the ball out of defence, he was back, he was given some great cover, great clearing headers, worked really neatly on the ball up the wings, drew the foul for the first goal, moved up front once White had come off, showed versatility. Yeah, I've given him 8 out of 10, which is 1 mark higher than Jimmy has. I'm going to argue with him on Twitter, definitely. So I'll quickly run through the subs. We had 3 subs came on at 65 minutes. That was Josh Scowen, Carl Winchester and Jordan Jones. A lot of change in positions as a result of that. I've given Scowen a 6. I thought he was a little bit wasteful on a couple of occasions, but generally did all right. I thought Winchester came on and actually played really well. Some really nice play on 72 to set up the move that Charlie White hit the post from. And again, Jordan Jones was involved in that move as well. He came on and looked really bright, switching from left to right, and picked up the assist for White's goal on 75 because of his movement. That goal was all about his movement, and I've given him an 8 as a great performance for a second half substitute. Diamond and Maguire came on later in the game. I don't think it's fair to really rate them, although credit Maguire getting his shot off on 91 minutes and forcing a really good save from the keeper. So it only comes to the man of the match. I think we've all kind of hinted who we're going to go for. Mike, are you going to go for Lyndon Gooch?
I am indeed. Best performance I've seen from him this season. Probably something we need to see more of. I think he's been quite inconsistent, but today he started off, as he said, really brightly. Absolutely gave his Earl on the left back a roasting today. And he obviously had a fantastic finish at the end of the first half. He's so good when he uses his pace and he's direct. I think when he starts to try come inside and he loses what he's good at as a game. So I think he needs to obviously keep it up. This is what we need to see from Lyndon Gooch from now to the end of the season. Like McGeady, he could be a serious asset for us if he stays in form. So yeah, he's my man of the match today.
Brilliant. And Ant, any different?
Yeah, I can't say any more than what Mike's just said for Lyndon Gooch. Yeah, It's great to see him back to form. You know what? I know my dad listens to this, and my dad really, really does not like Lyndon Gooch very much. So this one's for you, Dad.
Well, just as a counterpoint to that, my son Tom loves Lyndon Gooch. This time last year, he was a mascot at the Stadium of Light and was led out onto the pitch by Lyndon Gooch, and he still talks about it now. So yeah, brilliant performance and great to see him. Great to see him back in form. Have we got a rating for the manager, Mike?
I have a 9 out of 10 written down here. I said the formation he had really worked today. I mean, it was kind of ballsy move to change it up, especially after how good the formation worked against Doncaster. I thought it was impressive that he put O'Nien into centre half. I know he kind of had to do it, but O'Nien was so good in midfield last week with Scowen. I thought it was a shoe-in to see those 2 lads back there. Really starting to see what he wants from the team, the pressing high up. Someone mentioned the point in the WhatsApp group, which is impressive. The fitness is quite impressive. I think we're probably fitter than we were. We always seem to say that when a new manager comes in, but it actually is noticeable. And the team selection was perfect. 9 out of 10. And I have written here, keep it up with an exclamation mark, like a teacher.
And what have you put?
Yeah, I've got him as a 9 as well. Yeah, I think after the week that we've had, for him to look at that and play this side was a very brave call. So I think he knew it was going to get. I mean, I know he's not really bothered about it, but it got quite a lot of backlash on Twitter and on our WhatsApp group. It got a lot of backlash from me because I was not happy at all. However, it's been completely proved right. The 2 in midfield won the midfield battle brilliantly well. Our wide men were superb. The defence was superb. He made the subs at the right time. He brought young Jones on, and Jones comes on and tears their right back to shreds. It's an all-around very good team performance, but also a very good managerial performance from Lee Johnson. And you know what? This last week, he's got it spot on, hasn't he?
Yeah,
so he's got a 9 out of 10 for me.
He's got it so spot on for me that I give him the full 10. I think in terms of tactical flexibility, it's unbelievable. We had Phil Parkinson playing the same system every game for a year and a bit, and it was
You're dead right. Yeah.
dire. In this game, we played 3 different formations, and the players knew what they had to do, and the players moved between the positions. They're all interchangeable, basically, in the forward line and even in the back line, to be honest. Absolutely brilliantly drilled. I can't fault him. I think every decision he made prior to and during that game was spot on. And so I couldn't even knock a mark off him. I thought it was class.
You've just got to look at as well, Rich. I mean, like when Phil Parkinson got sacked, his assistant took over and we played Burton at home and we scuppered to a draw. And then obviously, you fast forward, 3-4 months of what Lee Johnson's been in. And now, obviously he's had these, setbacks, the Shrewsbury game, Plymouth at home, when we haven't been good enough. But, you come to this one there and it's just roles reversed. It's just we look at a completely different side now. Now, what he's done is bring the likes of Aidan McGeady back in, who's been the difference maker. He's got the best out of Charlie Wyke. He's getting the best out of Max Power, Lyndon Gooch, and he's got these subs who he can bring on when it's not working, who can come on and change the game. You look at Maguire on Tuesday night against Lincoln. Maguire came on and changed the game. Jones has done the same today when Burton were looking as if they were going to press us for a goal or two. He brings Jones on and all of a sudden we win 3-0 and it could have been more because Maguire's forced a very good save from their goalkeeper. So for him to do that and look and do that where Parkinson couldn't do a plan B. Even Jack Ross, going back to Jack Ross, he couldn't do a plan B. Lee Johnson has got a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C. So, fair play to him. I'm really, really happy with his performance so far, and hopefully this could be the start of something that, I really want to say. I really want to be on the bandwagon as what our lad was before on the Twitter. I really want to say, we can get promoted, but, play like that every week. Yeah. Play like how we did last week against Doncaster, blow teams away, we will go up. And that's credit to Lee Johnson, to be honest. So I never thought this would be possible watching us in games, where we've been drawing at home to the likes of Burton and getting beat off Wigan. We need to be kind of thinking, we're better than these. And that's what we did today. We just went out and thought, we're better than these. And we beat them.
Yeah.
There's a freedom to how we're playing now. I think this is what you wouldn't have seen under Parkinson. The likes of McGeady, O'Brien, Wyke, they don't look nervous. Like there was any prescriptive way of playing under Parkinson, as you were saying, Ant. But now they're allowed to kind of just express themselves, and you see the likes of Wyke especially has really benefited from that.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic week. I don't think we can complain one little bit from a 4-1 win against a promotion rival, getting through to the final of the AFL Trophy, and then really commanding, domineering 3-0 away victory against an improving Burton team. Perfect week, really. Oh yeah, and we got a new owner as well. So yeah, thanks for your time this afternoon, lads. Enjoy the evening. Enjoy that lovely feeling that we all have on a Saturday night when we've got another 3 points on the board. Please do like and subscribe to the podcast, everyone out there listening. And yeah, cheers. Thanks a lot.